Hello, hello. If you can hear me, I hope you can. Please know that we are going to get started at 7:30. Want to go ahead and get the stream up for y'all, so please sit tight and I will pop back in with more information in a little bit. Hi, everybody. If you are just joining us, just want to say we're going to get started around 7:30.
Hello.
Hey y'all. YouTube tells me that I've managed to have at least 4 people here, which is great. Thank you for tuning in. If you're here, you probably figured out that I did something wrong. I haven't figured it out yet, but the original link I shared
Hello.
is incorrect. So I am going into the video for the original link and posting this. So and all that to say, please give me a few minutes to get that set up. And also, if you are playing on a team and you have not yet sent me in your team name, please comment on the video so I can go in. I have to add those in on the back end. There's no way for you to do it. Thank you for your patience, and we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, I see we have a few more people joining. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience and flexibility as I shared the wrong link with y'all in the first place. Still don't know how I did that. We're gonna give it just a few more minutes for folks who, use the link I gave y'all to join us. And I will say real quick, I'll go over everything once we give it a few more minutes. Real quick, just want to say if you are playing on a team and no one in your team has sent me your team name yet, please comment on the video with your team name. So I have to put those in on the back end. There's no way for you to do it yourself. The names I have right now, let me pull that up. Y'all have some excellent team names. I have the Shishis, the Valkyries, Murray Cured Up, the Nonviolent Femmes, the IUJDs, my lovely Lady Lumps, and Carly Ray Romano. Great team names. Welcome all of you. If I did not say your team name, please comment on the YouTube video and I will see it and I will add your name on the back end. Okay, I'm not still seeing a ton of folks joining, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Let's see. Welcome. I guess the first thing I'll say will be hi. Thank you for joining us. I just got an email with a request for the new streaming link, so never mind let me get these folks added, and then once I see a handful of new people join, then I'll know it's time to get started. I apologize for this mess, y'all. This is my first time live streaming anything on YouTube. Okay, I see we have a few more people joining us, so I think this is probably everyone. We can go ahead and get started. Once again, let me start by apologizing for this mess. This is my first time using YouTube for anything but watching like cat videos, and I have no idea what I did wrong and why why the link I shared was wrong. Thank you for your patience and flexibility. I hope this evening will be fun enough to make up for it. We'll go ahead and start. If you need anything throughout all of this, please go ahead and comment. Or the chat is different from the comments. I think on the back end of YouTube I have a live chat thing. Go ahead and comment there. We are. That is the only way for us to communicate because I can't see or hear you, which is a little weird on my end. But if anything goes wrong, if you can't hear me, just comment in that chat. I see you, Team Bioscan. I just added you on the back end. I will repeat again. If you are playing on a team and you have not already sent to me your team name, please comment in the chat right now. So I have to put those in on the back end of the trivia thing. So if you haven't already, here's who I have. Y'all have some great team names, by the way. I've got the Shishis, the Valkyries, Marie Cure It Up, the Nonviolent Femmes, the IUJDs, Points for Puns, my lovely Lady Lumps, Carly Ray Romano, and Bioscan. And I need to just got one more email asking for the new link. Sorry, I'm gonna do my best to facilitate both these things while I host. So, welcome. My name is Megan Gordon-Kane, as you can see from the fact that this is Megan Gordon-Kane's YouTube live stream. I am the Public Affairs Manager and Lobbyist at Feminist Women's Health Center. If you don't already know us, I'll tell you more about us. We're going to do some information sharing between the trivia rounds. We are an independent abortion provider and general, what's the right word, like reproductive justice centered nonprofit. We've been serving Atlanta since the 70s. I think we're pretty great. Every year we do a big sort of carnival game inspired evening called Unruly Night of Political Misbehaving. Obviously that's not happening this year, so we're doing feminist trivia instead. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Okay, here is how trivia is going to work. We have 4 rounds, 5 questions each. They are all multiple choice. The rounds are celebrities, sports, history, and Georgia elections. Like I said, every question is multiple choice. They are all worth 10 points. I set it so that everyone gets a minute and a half to answer each question. I was trying to walk a line between giving y'all enough time to answer the questions and not creating a lot of space where you're just sitting like alone in your home staring at your computer screen after you already put in the questions. But if we find that that's not enough time, if you're repeatedly feeling rushed answering the questions, y'all just comment, and I can easily adjust that. It's not a problem. I want this to be fun. Teams, the way teams work. I think you've all figured it out by now, but I'm going to say it again just in case. So, this awesome trivia program we have allows you to play in teams in different physical locations, which is great for our times. The way that works is you're essentially all playing separately and together. So if you're on a team, everyone can like join the team when you log on. I should have already have your team name so you can join when you log on, and then you're all going to be like sitting and staring at your computer and like picking whichever answer you think is correct as you go. I wanted to avoid that like sort of awkward Zoom breakout situation and all the glitches that can accompany that. So y'all communicate with yourselves on your own. So the team IUJDs might have a group chat, or I'll be on FaceTime on the side or something to discuss their answers, and then everybody hits the same answer selection key. Or you can all not do that and each put in whatever answers you want and see how it goes. Whatever works for you on that. We have prizes. Let me go ahead and hit the next button so I can show you the prizes. The way we're going to do the prizes is that, oh, can you see it? I hope this is changing. The way we're going to do the prizes is that, yes, here we go. This is both a test question and showing you the prizes. So, the team that comes in first place, like all of these are $100 gift cards to each of these different places. So the team that comes in first gets first pick of which gift card they want. The team that comes in second gets second pick. Third place gets whatever's left. Sorry, third place. I put the URLs so that if you're not familiar with these places, you can look them up. I see that Black Vibe Tribe got cut off. Fortunately, they have the very straightforward blackvibetribe.com website. So you can look them up and decide what you want. Le Petit Marché is a wonderful, like, Black-owned breakfast restaurant in Kirkwood. I've never been, because I don't get up in time for breakfast, but I've heard very good things. The Gippola shop is massive and has all sorts of like adorable, snarky, silly feminist merch. We just bought my friend a business tiara from that shop. Yes, you heard that correctly. Black Vibe Tribe is owned by a 17-year-old Black girl who founded it at like age 14. So like, I don't even think she has finished high school. She should probably already have a business degree because it's really impressive. She makes clothes, very cute, like tops and hoodies and stuff. So yeah, get pumped for your prizes. I think that's everything you need. We'll give scores after each round. So as a testing, how about y'all go ahead and just pick, whichever of these lovely ABCD answer options you would like just to get used to this platform. You have a minute and a half. I don't think we'll actually do the full minute and a half. Okay, I'm seeing someone saying it looks like the question isn't active yet. Thank you, whoever did that. Are you able? I have the live stream up on my thing, so um, if you're having trouble answering the question, did you go to the additional website needed to play and down at the bottom crowd.live and enter the code FWHC? Someone comment and tell me if you've done that. Says your host will activate the question. That's so strange because it looks active on my end. Huh. Okay, let me try something. Oh, wait. Try it now? Okay, wait, I'm seeing one person saying it worked. Okay, awesome. Sorry, there was a additional button inside here that I had to push just to say, yes, I say go a second time. All right. Again, thank you all so much for dealing with me. I hope this turns out to be fun enough to be worth it. I can see the answers coming in. Oh, this is so great. Whew. Okay, I'm glad we're moving. I trust that, yes. Okay, good. I see it. We're working, we're moving. I think we're ready to move on to the next actual question. I'm gonna wait like 30 seconds. Please comment if you are not ready, still experiencing difficulties. Fabulous. I thought the mandatory test question that the software made me put in was excessive, and now I feel differently. All right, moving on to our first real question in the category of celebrities. Wait, can you see it? There's a little bit of a lag on your end, I think. Here we go. This singer and fashion designer was one of the most celebrated Mexican American entertainers of the 20th century. She was the top-selling Latin artist of the 1990s before she was murdered in 1995. You have a minute and a half. Select your answers. Can y'all see the question? Okay, yes, I'm seeing the votes come in. Okay, good. I think there we go. like YouTube backend, I think just has a really serious lag, as opposed to the other laptop. I have the question set up in front of me, so I got a little nervous for a second. Thank y'all for reassuring me. All right, 10 more seconds to put in your answers. And it's time for the answers. The answer is Selena. Everybody was correct. You should be, yes, there it is. The lag is gonna kill me in this, guys. Y'all, they made a movie about her in like probably around about 2000s, and my sister was obsessed. I don't know how many times she made me watch that movie. All right, next question. Who was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? About 15 seconds left. Okay, that's time. And the answer is it gonna pop up? Anyway, the answer is Aretha Franklin, the Queen Diva herself. Okay, moving on to the next question. This singer from Houston has been nominated for more Grammy Awards than any other woman. Who is she? Y'all got about 20 seconds. And that's time. The correct answer is Beyonce. I'm sure that was very tricky. I see 100% of you got that one. Congratulations on knowing who Beyonce is. All right, next question. With 43 top 10 records, this singer-songwriter holds the record for the most top 10 country albums. Right, y'all got about 20 seconds left. All right, that's time. The correct answer is the myth, the legend, the queen, Dolly Parton. Oh, so good. I saw a saint candle recently with Dolly Parton on it. She's got these little raccoons around her. I want it. I really do want that. Okay, moving on. This is the last question in the celebrities round. Which of these celebrities has a disability? All right, y'all got about 20 seconds left. All right, that's time. And the correct answer is all of them. No matter which one you selected, you get your 10 points. So, Daniel Radcliffe has a condition called dyspraxia that impacts like coordination. It's something to do with like your brain's ability to, communicate with your limbs and the rest of your body. Millie Bobby Brown, so y'all probably know of Stranger Things fame, is partially deaf. Frida Kahlo, of course, is quite famous for having had a limp because of childhood polio and lasting spinal injuries from a car crash that she was in when she was young. And Michael J. Fox has been living with Parkinson's disease for many, many years now. And yes, I see Kristen commenting, tricky. It was meant to be a little bit more of an educational question than a trick one. I think it's, I like to use trivia to teach people things. And I think it's important for us to understand that we don't always see what folks are dealing with. So it's important to work on being more accessible at all times. Okay, and that is the end of this round. Let me show y'all the team rankings. I don't think I can see them, so I'm waiting on the live stream to catch up. Oh, dang. Look at these ties, y'all. Crap. Y'all gotta get some space because we only have prizes for 3 teams, and right now 5 teams all have 50 points. Congratulations to Carly Ray Romano, My Lovely Lady Lumps, the Shishis, the Valkyries, and Bioscan for all having 50 points. All winners so far. Fabulous. Let us move on to the next question, or really to the next round, and take a little moment to talk to y'all about Feminist Women's Health Center. As I mentioned, we are a independent abortion clinic. We've been serving Atlanta since the mid-70s. We provide comprehensive gynecological care, including abortion, obviously, but we can also help out with any of your sexual health needs. We do a large amount of community outreach, and here's my cat probably making ambient noise on the microphone. Y'all, she knows when I am doing something important, when I am on any sort of Zoom. Here comes the cat. Sorry if she walks all over my keyboard and makes strange noises for you. Anyway, we do a lot of work in our community as well, which is something that I really like about Feminist, that we have a Lifting Latinx Voices initiative designed to educate and empower that community with their sexual and reproductive health. We have a legislative advocacy program run by me to not only keep abortion legal and accessible in Georgia, but to fight for a range of policies around reproductive justice issues. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. And we have our Aaron J. Ruley's Fellows Program, which is a free year-long fellowship program designed to build up activists in the field of their choice. So that is just a little bit of what we do here at Feminist Women's Health Center. If you don't already know us, now you do. And now on to sports. And I promise this is not like, these are questions that I might answer, and I don't do sports ball. So, next question. Who made history by being appointed the first Black principal dancer of the American Ballet Theater in 2015? Dang, y'all quick with the votes on this one. About 15 seconds left. And that's time. Lots of y'all got this one right. The correct answer is Misty Copeland. Y'all, she's amazing. I really wish I could have like put a picture up, but I was afraid that would give it away. She is also basically a ballet prodigy. You know, most professional ballerinas start when they are very small. She didn't start dancing until she was 12, which is amazing. Anyway, I highly recommend you look her up. I won't go on a tangent about how much I adore Misty Copeland. I will also give a shout out to um, answer option D. Quadrilla Jackson is our executive director at Feminist Women's Health Center. Okay, next question. Oh, oops, I accidentally hit the button and went too far. Here we go. Next question. Megan Rapinoe is a prominent advocate for pay equity in which sport? And that's time. Sorry I didn't give you your warning. I was in the chat, as you can probably hear from me typing. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, literally everybody got this one right. The correct answer is soccer. Of course, she is co-captain of the U.S. women's soccer team, which, while women's sports teams across the board are, you know, overwhelmingly underpaid compared to their male counterparts, the women's soccer team has been especially outspoken and gotten a lot of publicity from this because they are actively suing the league for refusing to treat them equally to the male players. All right, next question. After experiencing near-fatal birth complications, this famous tennis player called for more resources to address maternal and infant mortality around the world. About 15 seconds. And that's time. The answer is Serena Williams, which I see literally all of y'all got. I hope some of these questions get a little bit more difficult. Yeah, there was a lot of news coverage about this. She came out and wrote an op-ed about her experience because what was especially infuriating about her experience is that because of health issues she had already had when she started to experience complications after she gave birth, she knew what was happening and still had to fight and fight and fight and fight with her medical team to be heard and believed it as she was telling them her diagnosis and the treatment that they needed. And this is, you know, a very wealthy, very famous athlete who undoubtedly had access to excellent care who still didn't believe her. Most likely because she is a Black woman. That is what the data tells us, that, of course, women broadly and women of color specifically and Black women especially are not believed when they tell their doctors about health complications or issues or pain that they're experiencing. And of course, this also became quite a stir a little while later when she was, I believe, disciplined by a referee because she was wearing a like compressing like unitard type outfit in a match to help with these health issues, and they got onto her because she looked too sexual. So that's really wonderful and racist and sexist all at the same time. God bless Serena Williams. Somehow she still manages to be incredible. Okay, next question as I wax poetic about Serena Williams. Okay. Hold on, my thing isn't. There we go. Which WNBA team has been outspoken against the team owner's opposition to Black Lives Matter? About 20 seconds. And that's time. The answer is the Atlanta Dream, which is owned by current U.S. Senator Kelly Loeffler. The team went so far as to walk up, of course, being filmed into a recent game, all wearing t-shirts that say "Vote Warnock," Warnock being Kelly Loeffler's opponent. That was probably the most bold of a lot of team comments, that they are not happy with the way their ownership has reacted to the movement. Next question. Maya Moore took a break from her WNBA career to do what? That sound you just heard was the sound of my cat walking across the keyboard. Oh my, and my cat is now showing you the team rankings. Well, there's a surprise. All right, you should be back to the question now. If you already answered it, don't worry, that didn't mess anything up for you. Okay, that's time. The answer, oh wait, was I showing you the correct answer this whole time? Oh, Lord. Sorry, y'all. Uh, anyway, the correct answer is that Maya Moore took a break, took like a whole year or so sabbatical from her basketball career to help free a wrongfully convicted man from prison, which is amazing and very admirable. And as it could not get even cuter. Y'all, they got married a few months ago after he got out of prison, which is just the sweetest thing I've ever heard of. The fact that they got married, not the fact that he was incarcerated, because that's a terrible meet cute. All right, next question. Oh, wait, no, that was the round. So I guess actually the cat was not too early with your team rankings. Here you go. We'll look at them again. We still have a tie for the top two. My lovely Lady Lumps, congratulations for being tied with the Valkyries. Y'all are doing great. And coming in third, close third, Carly Rae Romano. I hope these next rounds will be harder because, like, I need y'all to break up this tie so we can, I don't know, have an easy time dividing up the prizes. Now, we're going on to round 3, which is history. But first, I'm going to talk to y'all about how you can get involved with Feminist Women's Health Center. Now, we have a pretty robust volunteer program, but also it's 2020, damn. It's the year 2020 and there is a pandemic. So our current options for engagement are pretty limited. And if you still think we're awesome and you want to plug in, go ahead and plug in because one day this will end and you'll be able to join us in person for cool things like escorting our patients past protesters, not past them, just to be a warm welcome while people yell at them from across the street. Or to help us make aftercare bundles for our patients, or to go out and help people register to vote, or to help us put on awesome events that are more awesome than this one, which I did myself. If you want to do that, I recommend for now, follow us on social media. You will see the handles are right here in we're on Facebook at FWHC Atlanta and on Instagram at Feminist Center. If you go to our website and click on the Get Involved link or go to feministcenter.org/get involved, you'll be able to join the newsletter and sign up and get updates about our remote volunteer options. Okay, I'm seeing, crap y'all, okay, what, sorry, I'm catching up on the chat. Not enough time to answer the last question about, okay, not enough time to answer the question about my amour. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back. Thanks, Elise. I'm gonna go back. Y'all go ahead and just hit that answer button. We already shared the answer. But y'all go ahead and just click it, get the points so that we can all like move forward on a level playing field. And I promise I will keep my cat off the keyboard so this doesn't happen again. I would close her out of the room entirely, but then she just scratches on the door nonstop until I let her in because cats are obnoxious. So we're gonna go back. And while we do that, let's see, start question. So you should be able to answer this now. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all your full minute and a half to do that. Well, I tell you that if you want to get involved with Feminist Women's Health Center in a more up close and personal way that is not digital, we are still doing that. But on a more case-by-case basis. So if you want to plug in with us, email our, I forget her official title. The cat was on my keyboard is a very feminist concern. Oh man, the cat's name is Hermione, after the Harry Potter character. Thank you for your care and compassion for my cat and my cat life. Anyway, if you want to plug in with us in person during the pandemic, email Libby, who manages our volunteer program, and she will be able to set you up with getting like more one-off in person, COVID safe, of course, volunteer options. Okay, and now we're moving on. Why did I do that? There's still 4 seconds left, but I hit the button already. I hope that worked. I hope that evened everything out. As you can see in this cute little graphic, there is Libby's email right there if you want it. Her name is, her email is libbym@feministcenter.org. libbym@feministcenter.org. And now onto a round that will hopefully run more smoothly. History. Oh wait, I need to show you all the rankings. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I hope these rankings reflect the not messed up by the cat. Everything is back on the same page. Reality, we have, wait, I'm seeing something different from what I'm seeing on the two. Okay, well, Team Bioscan, no, that's an alphabetical order. That's not what I need. Okay, I'm so sorry, y'all. This program is actually way more complicated than I thought it would be. I would pick something else if I could go back in time. It looks like our winning team is, dang, IUJD with 600 points. Followed by Marie Cured Up with 420 and Carly Ray Romano with 400. I trust that y'all will let me know in the chat if that sounds super weird to you. Anyway, thank you again for your patience and flexibility as I struggle with online trivia. Also, I will say, I've hosted a fair bit of trivia nights in the past. It's super weird to do this without being able to see or hear anybody. For all I know, Noah's having a good time and you're all like frowning at me in real life. I don't actually think that because you're all in the chat telling me things. All right. Tyler Rogers, I see you in the chat telling me that your score dropped in a way that doesn't make sense to you. Let me know your team name, and then I can look into it. What I think is happening to another team is that the people who plan to join the team were joined by another person who is not communicating with them and is just messing up their scores. I hope that's not happening to you. Also, sorry to that team. I don't know what I can do about it. Also, that sucks. Anyway, on to round 3, history. Ruby Bridges famously became the first Black child to integrate a Louisiana school in a very dramatic episode escorted by the U.S. Marshals, as you can see in this picture. How old is Ruby Bridges today? Y'all got about 10 seconds. And that's time. Y'all, Ruby Bridges is only 66 years old. That is wild to me. Like, that's so young. She's younger than my dad. I think she's just a little bit younger than my mom, too. Yeah. Also, I learned recently when I was looking this up for this question that once she, was escorted into school, with crowds of racists yelling terrible things at her, none of the teachers would agree to teach her, and none of the parents wanted their students in her class, so it was just her and one teacher who taught her alone for an entire school year, which is very sad. And I can't imagine what sort of impact that has on a young child. I hope that she was given access to much support for healing as she grew up. Okay, we are on to the next question. Who was the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court? Team IUJDs, I'm looking at you. Y'all got about 20 seconds. And that's time. The correct answer is Sandra Day O'Connor was the first ever woman appointed to the Supreme Court. She was appointed in the 80s by Ronald Reagan. The rest of your answers represent all of the women ever appointed to the court in order. So our beloved RBG, was the second woman appointed by Bill Clinton. Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan were both appointed by Obama. Sotomayor is the first Latina and also the first woman of color ever appointed to the Supreme Court. And some of my favorite court podcasters, the women over at Boom Lawyered, have done whole episodes on how we are sleeping on how awesome Sonia Sotomayor is. I would not be surprised if she ends up with a progressive badass legacy like RBG did in years to come. Next question. The first woman of color was elected to the U.S. Congress in 1964. What was her name? And I will say that if you follow Feminist Women's Health Center on the social medias, you might have gotten a hint about this today. So congratulations to those of you who follow us. Oh, I have to hit the button for you. There you go. It says the questions on the website are one ahead. There might be a time lag. I do have the YouTube stream up on a separate computer in front of me, and to me, it looks like it's only a few seconds behind. If you're seeing it being way off, try refreshing your browser. About 5 seconds left. Okay, the correct answer is Patsy Mink. I see a lot of people answered Shirley Chisholm. So, this one is a lot like the question before, where every single one of the answers is a woman trailblazer in Congress. So Patsy Mink was a Japanese American woman from Hawaii, and she was the first woman of color and the first, of course, the first Asian American also ever elected to Congress. She was followed shortly after by Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black woman elected to Congress, and of course became quite famous for being the first woman to run for a major party's presidential nomination. Ileana Ross Lehtinen was the first Latina in Congress, and Carol Moseley Braun was the first woman of color. She was Black. She was the first woman of color in the U.S. Senate. The first three were all in the House. And that was not until, I believe, 86, which is both not surprising and also horrifying. Oh, I see someone's in the same sorority as her. Congratulations on your association with greatness. Okay, on to the next question. Dolores Huerta is most famous for her work organizing and advocating for which group? Oh, gotta hit the button for you again. About 20 seconds left. And that's time. The correct answer is farm workers. She has been advocating farm workers for a long, long time and was right up there with Cesar Chavez organizing the grape strike and all of the other amazing work to come out of farm workers in California. And she just turned 90 this year and is still out here being amazing. So, congratulations to Dolores Huerta for being a badass. I think this is the last question in this round. Nope, one more. Ida B. Wells became famous for her groundbreaking reporting on what? About okay, time. That's about time. Sorry, I was texting some friends who are having technical issues. Um, Time for the correct answer. Ida B. Wells became famous for her groundbreaking reporting on lynching, but I mean that is the only correct answer. Though you are not totally out in left field if you answered some of these other things, because she was an amazing woman and she did a lot. So we're gonna tell you about it because I admire her greatly. Ida B. Wells was a reporter who was working in the South, and then a friend of hers was lynched, and she was like, "Okay, listen, we're not doing this anymore." So she did some groundbreaking reporting on lynching that had a big impact and earned her a lot of enemies, because what was happening at the time is, of course, racist white people in the South were going around and being like, no, 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 we're not just going around with this terroristic violence. We're only attacking criminals who commit crimes. And she was like, lol, no, and did all this groundbreaking reporting to prove that that was not the case, and that essentially the KKK was a terrorist organization, because people didn't know that at the time. At least that was the idea. The Southern misinformation being eaten up by Northerners was strong in those days. So she became very famous for her lynching reporting, but she was also a strong advocate for women's suffrage, though, of course, there was a lot of racism in that movement. My favorite story about Ida B. Wells is that there was a big event, I believe it was a parade to somewhere, and her state delegation was like, of her like suffrage group, the state delegation was like, listen, we think it should only be the white women that walk in this parade. And she's like, okay, cool, I understand, that's fine, you do that. But then when the parade walked past her, she just jumped right under that little rope and joined the parade and was like, sup, y'all, I'm here. I belong here. I don't care about your racism. She's amazing. And she also co founded the NAACP. So I can see why some of y'all would have gotten that answer. Anyway, I think this is the last question of the round. For real this time, yes, we're moving on to Georgia elections. But first, we're going to look at some team rankings. Can you show me? Can I see it? There we go. The back end doesn't show them to me in order. So, okay, here we go. We've got Valkyries up top with 147 points. Carly Ray Romano very closely following with 143, and Bioscan also very close with 140. Dang, y'all. Y'all are really good at this game. Congratulations for being awesome, each and every one of you. Okay, let's go back and talk. Before we move on to round 4, I want to talk to y'all about Feminist's legislative advocacy program, which is what I do. We do a lot. It's awesome. You should join us. Some of the things we do include advocacy days every month during the legislative session, which runs, and it's giving current player rankings. So if you're on the team, this is breaking it down to the individual players. Anyway, we do legislative advocacy days every month during the state legislative session, where we will train you up, help you figure out how to talk to your elected officials, help you navigate the process, and then walk you over to speak to your elected officials about things that are important to you. This will likely end up being adapted next year to our COVID times. We do a lot to just keep folks informed about what's happening in our state government. Action alerts, social media videos. I do live updates every week during legislative session. And not only are we fighting bad laws, we are doing proactive stuff to help make Georgia a better place for people to live. Just this past year, we helped with a large coalition of organizations fight for an extension of Georgia's special Medicaid program for pregnant people. It used to stop right at about 6 weeks after birth, which is way before people are recovered and when they very much still need medical care. And got that extended up to 6 months. We're going to keep working with the very large group to try to get it all the way up to 1 year, because it takes a long time for the body to recover from pregnancy and birth, and complications can still arise up to a year afterwards. We do a lot of workshops and trainings about advocacy, about Georgia's legislative process, about special bills, about advocacy skills, and generally work to empower people to engage with their state legislators, because they are much more accessible to us than most people realize. I went through public school in Georgia, K through 12, and no one ever told me that I can just walk into the state capitol building and go find my state representative or my state senator and say, "Hi, I want to talk to you about a thing," and then like actually do it. It's so cool. I love state politics for that reason. You get some of the accessibility of local government, but also with a really broad impact. The state government controls just so much about our lives. Of course, most abortion restrictions, also a lot of healthcare things. Georgia, of course, has refused to expand Medicaid for years. But also, for example, the governor is getting a federal waiver to essentially cripple the ACA in Georgia. I won't get into the technicalities. But yeah, our state government is doing a lot that impacts the issues that we care about all the time. And it's really important to be involved. And also, I love it because it's a wonderful, um, state government is a really wonderful meeting of accessibility and impact, which is why it's fun to do. We also are starting a new thing called Feminist Force, which is a bi monthly meeting, now virtual, hopefully one day in person, of our advocacy volunteers, of feminist volunteers who are interested in learning about what is going on in our advocacy programs, are interested in taking action, and just being with our people. It's going to be like part social, part taking action together. So our first one is next Thursday night at 7 p.m. If you go to our website at feministcenter.org/events, you can RSVP there. You should come. It'll be fun. Also, if you've been listening to my voice for, wow, almost an hour and a half, and you think I sound fun, you should come to that because you'll get to hang out with me and a bunch of other awesome people. Anyway, moving on to our last round, which is Georgia elections. Okay, who do you call, to resolve an issue with your mail-in ballot? I see in the chat, which I'm like jumping back and forth between that and the trivia software, about 15 seconds, by the way, that Tyler has a question about whether we're doing team rankings or player rankings. The program automatically does both. So that's why we have seen both. So I could, for example, every member of the IUJDs is also playing separately because they're all inputting their own answers. So I could pull it up and it would break down everything individual, or I would do it by teams. We are doing sort of both tonight, so it should, if you are not on a team and you like win, then like cool, good for you. Like we're not doing like forced solo play or forced team play. And I've just been doing the squiz by teams because I think it'll show me if someone on like team no team wins. But if your experience doesn't match up with the way I just explained that, let me know. Anyway, we are out of time for the answer. Oh my gosh, everybody got this right. I'm so proud. If you have an issue with your mail-in ballot, also known as an absentee ballot, you call your county board of elections. Oh, I'm so happy everybody knows this. Tell your friends. Not everybody knows this. Any issue whatsoever. I lost my mail-in ballot. I accidentally spilled coffee on it. Or, in my case, we can say my cat knocked my coffee over onto it. Call your county board of elections and they will help you figure it out. That is their job. I feel like I was going to say something else, but I think That's it. Oh, you can find their contact info online if you just Google, honestly, like the quickest way would be to just Google, for example, like DeKalb County Board of Elections. Um, that's definitely going to work best for the metro areas. Some of the smaller counties in rural Georgia, at least population smaller, geographically larger counties in rural Georgia, don't all have websites. The Secretary of State's office has on their website a a drop down menu where you can select your county and it will pop up your Board of Elections contact information. We made a link for that, so if you go to tinyurl.com/boards of elections, that'll pop up there too. Good. And again, please tell your friends, help your people navigate this wild election. We're all in. Okay, next question. Skip lag mode. There we go. How many total candidates are on the ballot for both of Georgia's U.S. Senate seats? So when you are looking at your ballot and you see the races for each of our U.S. Senate seats, you count all the candidates across both races. How many are there? About 20 seconds left. And that's time. Y'all, the answer is 23. There are 23 people running to represent Georgia in the U.S. Senate. The overwhelming majority of those are running for Kelly Loeffler's seat, and that has to do with the type of election it is because she's not on the regular cycle. It's because Johnny Isaacson retired and then she got appointed to fill his seat. And so the rules for that type of thing are that it is what's called a jungle election, meaning there is no primary. And those races are historically a little bit easier to win because instead of having to, beat a bunch of Republicans or Democrats based on your party and then go on to a general election, you just have to get basically the most or second most votes across all of the people running, and then you go into a runoff with someone. So it creates opportunities for unlikely victors to emerge, which is why there are, I think, 19 people running for that seat. It's a weird year in Georgia politics, y'all. All right, next question. Oh, shit. I hope I hit that fast enough that you didn't see the answer. When is Saturday early voting? State law requires that at least one Saturday in the early voting period has to be designated for early voting so that the polls are open on Saturday. Which one? About 20 seconds left. And that's time. The answer is October 24th is mandatory Saturday early voting. Some counties do more than one. They can add on to it. They have to have at least one, and that has to be the 24th. So that means that a week from tomorrow, if you want to go early vote in person and doing it on a weekday is hard for you, you can go on a Saturday. Tell your friends, tell your family, help your people spread the word about going and voting. I say that sort of semi-seriously, but also very seriously, because I have found that when you are a person who people like know is plugged in to this type of thing, everybody asks you about these things. So please become that person for your community, because this election especially is confusing to navigate. A lot of people are voting in different ways than they would normally have in the past, like by voting by mail for the first time, or trying to vote early for the first time. Maybe they'll vote on Saturday for the first time because they don't want to be in election day crowds. So please spread any information you have to help your friends and family or random people who follow you on the internet to know how to vote this election cycle. Okay, where can you look up your polling place? About 20 seconds left. And that's time. The answer is your My Georgia Voter page. This is a really cool online portal that the Secretary of State's office has put together. It's been around for years now. If you are not familiar with it, I really cannot recommend highly enough that you look it up and play around with it, because there's a lot of information in there. The URL is essentially a bunch of random letters.gov. The easiest way to find it is literally to Google My Georgia Voter page, and it should be right there at the top. The way it works is that you log in just with your like name and the county and your birthday, and it pops up like your specific on-file voter information, which is really wonderful because your sample ballot, you can look up your polling places, what else? So many things. Your early voting locations, which are different from your election day voting locations. So much information is in that portal. If you have a question, the answer is quite likely in there. It's where you can track your mail-in ballots. And so if you are wondering why you haven't received it yet, or sent it in and wondering if it has been received and processed, you can check that in your My Georgia Voter page. It's amazing. Tell everybody. I will also add, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. I really, really strongly recommend that you find your My Georgia Voter page and log in. And if you are voting by mail, use that page to track the status of your mail-in ballot, because your ballot could get rejected, right? This has been a thing that's in the news a good bit. It can be rejected because the signature doesn't match what they have on file. It could be rejected because you I don't know, like made a mark wrong on the ballot. And so keep an eye on it. And if it says rejected, then you call previous answer your county board of elections and figure out what you need to do to cure your ballot, is the technical language from it, to fix whatever problems. They will accept your ballot and count your vote. The My Georgia Voter page is the only place you're going to find that information. They're not going to call and tell you. So keep an eye on that. Make friends with it. Tell your friends. Also, one more plug, because I love this page. Use it to look up your sample ballots. You might know like who all you want to vote for, of course, like president and your state races and all that. But it's really helpful in my experience for looking at the what's the word? Like the ballot questions. So you can read them and get a sense of them and research them before you get in the polling places, because the ballot questions are usually artfully phrased by the proponents of the questions, so that your question on your ballot might read like, is apple pie good? And you actually just like, I don't know, banned pie pans from the entire state of Georgia or something wild. So make friends with your sample ballot, make friends with your My Georgia Voter page. Okay, y'all, this is the last question. It's been so fun. Enjoyed so much. Which one of these is not the subject of a constitutional amendment that will be on your ballot in Georgia? Oh, I really hope that no one from out of state is playing on this. This whole round would have been hard for you. These are all the constitutional amendments that are on like everybody's ballot. Some of the counties have county-specific questions, but this is just looking at the statewide ones. Oh my god, I didn't hit the start question button. I'm sorry, y'all. There it is. Also, I'm sorry if you're getting extra background noise. The fan on my laptop just kicked into high gear, and I'm sure the microphone is picking that up. Just a few more seconds. And the correct answer is strip clubs are not a subject of a constitutional amendment on your ballot. Most of you got that right. I did not entirely make that one up because there was a big fight a few years ago about an amendment to tax strip clubs for the purposes of gaining funding to support survivors of sex trafficking. So I just want you to know that strip clubs have been a legitimate thing and has actually been on your ballot, just not this year. We have suing the state is a thing that's on your ballot. It's to amend the Constitution to make it easier for people to sue the state when the state violates our constitutional rights, which you would think is not a question that we'd have to have a whole ballot measure over, but it is, because right now it's almost impossible to sue the state. There is a property tax exemption for nonprofits, and there is a super nerdy but very important rule about building it into our budget structure, that if you pass a bill saying that like we're going to tax strip clubs for the purpose of supporting sex trafficking, just to use one example, then when y'all are making the budget, you have to actually do that. Right now they don't. Super nerdy, very important. Like all the ballot measures, they tend to be very technical and boring looking, but they're all interesting if you're a big nerd like me. Anyway, that's the end. So let's look at these team rankings, shall we? Where do I find this? Team rankings. I think, yes, it's giving this to me in the correct order, I think. It looks like our winners are the Valkyries, Carly Rae Romano, and Bioskin. Oh, lovely, there's not as high. Congratulations to all of you, though. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in. Before you go, let me do one more thing, just as a wrap up. Of course, first of all, if you won, please email me at megang@feministcenter.org and tell me which prize you want. And sorry, my cat is coming for that keyboard again, but I'm fighting for you. Fighting for you to not have this game messed up again. Email me at megang@feministcenter.org and tell me which of the prizes you want. Again, we have a gift card to Le Petit Marché, we have a gift card to Shop Bullish, and we have a gift card to the Black Vibe Tribe, all for $100. Please drop me a line and let me know if you came in second or third, if you could like rank them for me, so I don't have to reply to you and say, sorry, team one took that, what's your second choice? That would be very helpful. Now, I will say we did not charge for this event. Normally, we do every year, we charge for our annual Unruly Night of Political Misbehavin', but this year, of course, everyone's having a hard time and everybody needs a little bit of fun, so I decided that it was more important for this game to be open to everyone than for us to be compensated for it. If you had fun, and if you, or maybe you hated this trivia game, but you like what you learned today about Feminist Women's Health Center and you want to donate, please go to feministcenter.org/donate right there on your screen, and any amount that you are willing to share with us would be very helpful, and we very much appreciate it. That's it. Thanks, y'all. This has been so much fun, and also so weird. So weird hosting for an audience who I can't see or hear.
I hope you guys had fun. Thank you all for being so generous with my tech struggles tonight and my cat's tech interventions. Um, y'all have a good night. Bye, everybody.